On the morning of June 30, 1908, a massive explosion occurred over a remote region of Siberia. The explosion happened near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River, deep within an isolated forest far from major cities. Witnesses reported seeing a gigantic fireball streak across the sky. Moments later, a powerful blast shook the ground and shattered windows hundreds of kilometers away. The explosion was so strong that it knocked people off their feet in nearby villages. Yet strangely, no impact crater was ever found. What happened that day would become one of the greatest scientific mysteries of the 20th century. Shooting star emoji, evergreen tree emoji. After the explosion of the Tunguska event, an enormous area of forest in Siberia was completely devastated. When scientists later investigated the region, they discovered something astonishing. More than 80 million trees had been knocked down across an area of over 2,000 square kilometers. The trees were flattened outward in a huge circular pattern, as if a powerful force had exploded in the sky above them. In the center of the destruction zone, however, many trees were still standing. Their branches had been burned away, leaving behind tall, blackened trunks. The strange pattern suggested that the explosion had occurred high above the ground. But the true cause of the blast was still unknown. For many years after the Tunguska event, the remote location in Siberia made it extremely difficult for scientists to investigate the disaster. The first major scientific expedition did not reach the area until 1927. The expedition was led by Russian scientist Leonid Kulik. When his team finally arrived, they were shocked by what they found. The forest had been flattened in every direction for kilometers. Yet despite the massive destruction, there was still no impact crater anywhere in the region. This strange detail puzzled scientists and raised even more questions. What kind of explosion could destroy such a huge area without leaving a crater behind? As scientists studied the destruction caused by the Tunguska event, they realized just how powerful the explosion had been. Researchers estimated that the blast released energy equal to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT. That is roughly 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima during World War II. The shockwave flattened forests, shook the ground, and was even detected by scientific instruments thousands of kilometers away. People across parts of Europe reported unusually bright skies for several nights after the explosion. Scientists believe dust particles from the blast may have spread high into the atmosphere. Yet one mystery remained: what exactly caused such an enormous explosion in the sky? Shooting star emoji, Africa emoji. Over time, scientists began to develop a leading explanation for the Tunguska event. Many researchers believe the explosion was caused by a large space rock entering Earth's atmosphere at extremely high speed. As the object traveled through the sky above Siberia, the intense pressure and heat may have caused it to explode in mid-air. This type of explosion is known as an airburst. Because the object likely disintegrated high in the atmosphere, it never created a large crater on the ground. Instead, the massive shockwave spread across the forest below, flattening millions of trees. Today, many scientists believe the object may have been a stony asteroid around 50 to 60 meters wide. Even so, some questions about the event remain unanswered. Shooting star emoji, Africa emoji. Although the Tunguska event is widely believed to have been caused by a meteor airburst, other theories have also been proposed over the years. Some researchers suggested the object may have been a fragment of a comet, composed mostly of ice. A comet fragment could potentially explode in the atmosphere and leave very little physical debris behind. Others proposed more unusual explanations, including underground gas explosions or rare natural atmospheric phenomena. However, most modern scientific studies still support the theory that a space object exploded above Siberia. Advances in astronomy and planetary science have helped scientists better understand how these powerful atmospheric explosions can occur. Even today, the Tunguska explosion remains one of the most dramatic natural events in recorded history. Shooting star emoji, Africa emoji. The Tunguska event is often considered a powerful reminder of the dangers that can come from space. Scientists today closely monitor objects known as near-Earth objects. These include asteroids and comets that travel through the inner part of our solar system. Most of these objects pass safely by Earth without causing any harm. However, events like Tunguska showed that even a relatively small space object can release enormous energy if it explodes in the atmosphere. Because the explosion happened over a remote region of Siberia, no large cities were destroyed. If a similar event happened over a major urban area today, the consequences could be catastrophic. For scientists, Tunguska remains both a mystery and an important warning. Shooting star emoji, Africa emoji. More than a century after the Tunguska event, scientists continue to study the event. The explosion remains the largest impact-related event recorded in modern history. Even without a crater, the massive destruction across Siberia provided important clues about what happened. Today, researchers use advanced simulations and space observations to better understand how objects from space can interact with Earth's atmosphere. The Tunguska explosion also helped scientists improve systems designed to detect potentially dangerous asteroids. While most evidence supports the meteor airburst theory, the event still fascinates historians, astronomers, and researchers. More than 100 years later, Tunguska remains one of the most extraordinary mysteries in the history of science. Shooting star emoji, Africa emoji. The mysterious explosion known as the Tunguska Event remains one of the most extraordinary natural events ever recorded. In just a few seconds, a powerful blast flattened millions of trees across the remote wilderness of Siberia. Although scientists now believe the explosion was most likely caused by a large meteor that detonated in the atmosphere, the event continues to fascinate researchers more than a century later. The investigation of Tunguska also helps scientists better understand the risks posed by near-Earth objects. Today, space agencies around the world actively monitor these objects to detect potential threats long before they reach our planet. The Tunguska explosion is not only a mystery from the past, but also an important reminder that Earth exists in a dynamic and sometimes unpredictable cosmic environment. And even today, the skies above us still hold many secrets waiting to be discovered. Shooting star emoji, Africa emoji.